everybody, I'm Jammer, and welcome back to another Animal Crossing New Horizons video. Making bells in this game is one of the most critical things about playing Animal Crossing. Bells makes the world go round. You can buy things with it, you can upgrade your home, you can unlock newer recipes. Essentially, you need bells. And whether you're new here in this entry of Animal Crossing, everyone's seeking the best ways to make money. And now that the game's been out for a little while and we've all had a chance to sink some time into the game, we're gonna go over some of the best ways to make money, kind of going chronologically from when you start off, when you start to unlock things, and when you start getting towards the later game stuff. But before we get started, if you are new here, perhaps consider subscribing. It's free, you can always change your mind later, and you can expect, of course, tons more on Animal Crossing New Horizons. Thanks for listening to that. With that out of the way, let's get started. So when you're first starting off, you start off on this brand new island with $0 to your name. That's right, you are flat out broke. And not only that, you are completely in debt to Tom Nook for now purchasing this deserted island getaway package. So it's time to start raking in those bells and making yourself some capital. A great place to start is honestly just going fishing. There are a lot of high-priced fish there that respawn a lot quicker than catching bugs, for example, because bugs can spawn really anywhere in the island, while fish are limited to, just the waterways. The ocean specifically has fish like Barrett's knifejaw, which goes for 5,000 bells, red snapper that goes for 3, football fish that goes for 2,500. So there is a collection of really high-valued fish for you to get. Another great way when you're first starting off is, of course, to sell fruit. Now, the fruit that's native to your town will not sell nearly as much as non-native fruit. So if possible, try to link up with your friends and start collecting fruit that are not native to your town. And as soon as you do, plant them and start planting those trees in advance, so then by the time they're all grown, you have a large collection of fruit not native to your village that sell for 500 a pop. But your main priority is going to be unlocking the museum. You can do that by, of course, donating 5 specimens to Tom Nook, in which he'll call Blathers to come to your town the next day. Why this is important is because then you unlock the ability to craft shovels as well as axes. And by unlocking the shovel, it opens up to a wide variety of different ways to make money in this game. First off, you can dig up and collect fossils. You could choose to donate to them to your museum, or you can sell them for a good amount of bells. Every day, roughly 4 fossils will spawn in your town, so it's worth adding to your daily routine when checking in to run around your village to collect all those fossils. And speaking of daily routines, let's talk about the money rock. Once per day, the rocks in your towns can be collected of its resources by smacking a shovel or an axe against it. And if done in quick succession, you have a chance to collect up to 9 different items. You typically get clay, rocks, and iron ore. However, one of the rocks in your town will always be the money rock, and it will drop bells instead of materials. Each time you hit the rock, the amount of bells you get out of the rock exponentially increases. First it's 100 bells, then 200, then 400, then it gets to the thousands. So it's really important that you make sure you get every single hit, because those last few are the ones that make you a ton of bells. The best way to guarantee that you can get all the hits on your rocks by cornering yourself. If you look at the grid setup of where the items can drop, you basically want to dig a hole on each side of one of the corners, so then every time you hit the rock, you'll bounce into the holes, which you can't pass through, so it'll keep your player in place. And you don't even need to actually have holes there. You could permanently put like a furniture item there, or like some fences eventually. So then every day when you want to collect your rocks resources, you don't even need to prepare anything. You just go in the corner and boom, you're ready to start collecting your money. There's another daily chore worth doing, and that is the golden spot. Once per day, every single day, there will be a glowing spot on your island. And if you unearth said spot, you'll get 1,000 bells, which, hey, that's cool, free money, right? But the real value comes from the glowing spot itself. You can bury any value of bells you want into said hole, and it'll actually create a sapling for a money tree. So after waiting for a few days for the tree to mature, you'll actually have a fully grown money tree that'll have money bags as its resources instead of fruit. However, it's worth noting with money trees, you can only reap 1 harvest. After you shake the bells out of the leaves, it'll just revert itself to a regular tree. It's a little weird because the amount you get right now it's not guaranteed. Typically what's supposed to happen is whatever bell bag you bury in, so let's say you put in 10,000 bells, the tree will reap a harvest of 3 bell bags of 10,000 bells. So you can basically triple your investment. But the best recommendation I would give for doing money trees would be to bury 30,000 bells. Because best case scenario, you get 3 30,000 bell bags, a 90k harvest, which is insane. And then the worst case scenario, they're just 10,000 bell bags a piece, then you lose no money there, you get your 30,000 back. And if you're able to plant a money tree every single day, you'll also be reaping a harvest of bells every single day. So you can kind of make a system out of it where you can replant the bells you got from the previous money tree into the next one and basically make it as an easy way to get daily income. And beyond that, you can even move the money tree sapling once you've planted it. So my best recommendation is just corner off a little area in your village. Kind of just put your money trees in a row so you can always remember where they're going to be, and you can keep track of when they're growing. It's a high investment at first, but once you get the process going, it's an easy way to get instant daily income of tons of bells. And another thing you can do with the shovel is plant trees, specifically fruit trees. When you're growing them from a sapling, make sure there's enough space around them so they have enough room to grow. But once they're a fully grown tree, you can totally consolidate it and put them in compact lines, making a full fruit orchard that it can rake you in tons of bells every time you reap their harvest. It's a really effortless way to get lots and lots of bells. It's kind of cool to see like rows and rows of fruit trees lining your island. But if you're looking for a more active way to get money, now that you have the shovel, for one thing, you can actually collect manila clams. While it does take a little while to scour the beach and find these little things, they can be crafted into fishing bait. So then building off what we talked about previously, you can head to the ocean or the pier and just keep dumping bait in to collect as many fish as possible. But one of the best proven collectibles right now to make money in Animal Crossing is tarantula hunting. I'm sure you've heard plenty of it before. After 7 p.m. on your island, that's when they start to appear. First off, you have to make sure your gate is not open and no one is visiting your town, otherwise they won't spawn. The tricky things about tarantulas is if you're not careful, they're gonna run at you and attack you and try to sting you. So the best technique is to creep up very slowly, and as soon as you see them get up on their hind legs to like wanna attack, you just pause for a second, wait, then move forward a little bit closer. And then you continue to repeat and repeat until you get close enough to catch them with your bug net. It's kind of hard to tell the spacing sometimes, especially when the adrenaline is up there, when you know if you mess up, you're gonna get stung. So a good recommendation is to use like the above camera angle that you can look down onto, and just take your time, be patient, and you got this. In addition to that, when you've unlocked the ability to go on Nook Mile expeditions, one of the randomly generated islands is considered Tarantula Island. It's a little island surrounded by a lake, and specifically the spawn rates for tarantulas are increased on this island. It's completely random that Dodo Airlines will take you to it, but if you get the chance to go, be sure to come home with your pockets filled. And there's one last thing to mention about bugs. There's a random chance for Flick, the bug off host, to visit your island. And if he does, he pays 50% more than the typical price for Timmy and Tommy. The same also goes for CJ, the fish off host will randomly visit and you can sell fish to him for more money. So if you keep a little collection of tarantulas or emperor butterflies aside for when Flick does come to your town, you can make more than you would have otherwise with Timmy and Tommy. Once you finally unlock Nook's Cranny, Timmy and Tommy has a couple of new features along with this shop. First off is the hot item. Every day they have one item that specifically is like of high value, and they'll pay twice the bells for it. It's typically usually a craftable item, and sometimes it uses pretty inexpensive ingredients. So you can potentially craft these items in mass quantities and actually make a good amount of money selling even just the smallest of things. So sometimes it's worth checking out what the hot item is and crafting a couple just to make a quick couple of bells here and there. But the best and biggest way to make money in Animal Crossing New Horizons, just like every other entry, is of course turnips. The stock market is the way to make tons and tons of bells if you play it correctly. Once a week, Daisy Mae will visit your town from 7 a.m. to noon on every Sunday. The prices she sets her turnips at are completely random, but typically they're in like 100 range, a little over or a little less. The idea is you want to buy them at as low as possible. So if she's selling them at your town for 100, but your friend's selling it at their town for 90, you're going to want to go to your friend's town and buy them from her there. And then the idea is for the rest of the week, Timmy and Tommy will buy turnips at varying prices throughout every single day. Each day there's a morning and afternoon price, and as the week progresses, the prices continue to change, just kind of like a stock market, or stock market in this case. And so there's a little risk reward. You buy a bunch of turnips on Sunday and you don't really know how much they're gonna go for later in the week. You could have a really great week and the prices exponentially skyrocket. Or you could have a week where they're not selling for much, potentially even lower than what you bought it at. And when it comes to Saturday, that is the last day to sell. If you don't sell them before the following Sunday, all the turnips you bought will expire and will be valued at 0 bells. And so it sounds risky, and it totally is. There is a risk involved in it. But the beauty of that is, since you don't have to buy turnips from your town, you also don't have to sell them in your own town. So your best bet is to ask your friends, go on the internet, look at forums, look on Reddit, Twitter, and try to find people who are opening their towns up to sell the turnips for tons of bells. It can sometimes be a tricky process hunting it down, finding the right person, so it's never a guarantee, but the Animal Crossing community is really great and trying to be helpful to everyone to make a ton of money. As you can see here, I bought my turnips at 92 a piece, and I sold them for well over 500. Investing 368,000 seems like a lot, but when you come back with 2 million bells, a $1.7 million profit. Yeah, you're sitting pretty happy afterwards. There are lots of different ways to make money in Animal Crossing New Horizons. Some are more passive, like your daily stuff doing the daily rock, the daily money tree, getting your daily fossils. There's your more active stuff like fishing and bug catching, and then maintaining your fruit orchard. But the best way, of course, is to sell turnips. But what are some tips and tricks you have to making bells in this game? Definitely let me know that in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to give it a big awesome like, and if you haven't already, definitely subscribe for tons more on Animal Crossing New Horizons. I've finally moved into my new place. I'm so excited, so now I can finally get some more videos coming out for you guys. In addition to doing a live stream, I think my first live stream for this game, what I want to do is I'm really close to unlocking the island designer where you can do the terraforming and stuff, and I have a lot of plans. I'm going to be basically tearing up my whole town. So I thought it'd be kind of fun, like once I get that, I'm going to invite you guys to come along on a stream, and maybe we'll just like stream terraforming and ripping up the whole town and experimenting with all the different ways to make waterfalls, cliff sides and stuff. I think it should be a lot of fun. So I'll give you a heads up when that'll be. Make sure you're following me on Twitter or on the Discord, and I'll let you know there. Thanks again, guys, so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. See ya!